What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for guys today, and today we'll be checking out the Manfrotto camera slider. So of course, without further ado, let's slice this open, check it out, and see what's so special about it, and give you guys my quick in-depth review. Manfrotto is a very well-known and reputable brand in the photo and video industry, producing high-quality tripods as well as photo and video heads. However, new to this year is that they introduced two sliders, a 60cm and 100cm model. Anyways, let's unbox this and see what's so special about Manfrotto's first slider. Alright, so here's the slider itself with a closer look. This is the actual base here. And as you guys can see, Manfrotto went with a kind of different design that traditionally sliders from third parties, from what I see, usually use a pulley system, whereas the Manfrotto model here uses this kind of four-wheel rail design, which this piece here is pretty much all aluminum construction, which isn't too bad of a metal. And of course, the whole thing has a nice black anodized finish. Here's a quick look at the bottom here. So you can basically set this up on a single tripod, or there's also two mounts on the ends here with rubber feet. So if you want to set this on a flat surface like a table or even the floor, that's also an option as well. Going back to the mounts here, we do have two little toggles. One is for the red ones to lock it in place, and this one here is for your friction control. So if you want the slider to move, have a little bit more tension, you just twist this, and it uses some sort of felt material that kind of pushes against the rail here, which I don't know how long that's going to last, but that's how this creates that kind of tension force when you're pushing your camera back and forth. But anyways, so let's slap this onto the tripod with my camera and whatnot on it and see what it looks like. Alright, so got the tripod all set up here along with the slider, and I am recording this free-handedly, so I do apologize if the video is a little bit shaky. But anyways, this is my normal video setup, everything beneath the slider here, which is my Manfrotto 290 tripod, which I picked up maybe about 4 years ago. On top of that is the Manfrotto 502 video head. And then sitting on top of that is the Manfrotto slider, and then another video head so my camera can sit on top. So after playing around with the the slider here for actually about a month now, some of you may have noticed some of my videos had some cool slider shots to them. One thing I will note for you guys looking to purchase a slider is I recommend the smaller one unless you really absolutely know you're going to need the longer length. And the reason I say that is because for those of you who like to use a single tripod like I do, if this head here goes too far off with the camera on, if I can just undo this, it actually starts to tip over a little bit. You guys can kind of see there and wiggle a bit. So although the longer versions seem like the better choice because it was only $50 more, at least when I got it, functionality wise I do kind of regret my decision and kind of wish I went back or gotten the shorter version of this, which I think would have been easier to use, easier to carry around, and also a little bit cheaper by $50. But anyways, back to the slider itself. For those who are interested in it, very simple to use. As I showed you guys earlier. This button here is to lock it in place. This one here is your kind of your friction control, so you can slide it back and forth. Unfortunately, the Manfrotto model here doesn't have a motorized system that I'm aware of, and there's no pulley system either, which I found third-party brands that use that is a little bit easier to operate versus this one here. With a pulley system, you just have a little pulley on the end here. But with this system here, you do have to manually push it yourself. So again, unless you have a steady hand, that may be a little bit problematic. I think you get better shots with a pulley style system, but it's just, I guess, a different design in terms of the slider that Manfrotto decided to use. My overall experience with the Manfrotto slider is fairly positive, at least with the results here. But nonetheless, if I had to go back in time and buy a new slider, I'd probably go towards a third-party brand, mainly because, at least for a couple reasons. First off, cheaper. You can get a very nice carbon fiber slider with a nice pulley system with it for probably $400 or $500 or even less than that. And in addition to that, with the Manfrotto slider here, because you have to manually push it back and forth, whereas with the pulley system, you just kind of twist it with the end pulley there. I think you get better shots with the pulley style system, and I keep going back to this because it just seems better as you have more smoother control with the pulley rather than pushing it back and forth like the Manfrotto slider here. So I think the pulley style systems, you get better shots out of it because the movement back and forth is a lot more consistent, whereas this one here, you just kind of have to have a steady hand. So again, the shots you get out of this is pretty nice, but just for the value and the money you can spend on this, I think you can get a better slider from a third-party brand. But for those of you who like to match brand for brand, you definitely can't go out the Manfrotto slider here. I haven't had any complaints in terms of the functionality-wise, but because this is such a long model here, I do recommend getting the shorter one, as you may stumble upon having it tip over, which is not a good thing. Whoa! And I just about did it there, mainly because I had my tripod feet not fully extended. But yeah, you don't want to risk your gear with a really long slider. Just a quick note there. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll leave a quick clip of using the slider on one of my YouTube videos, and I'll see you on the next video.